Hello everyone, so today we're going to be doing laws of exponents again to solve problems, and today we're going to use the quotient or division rule. So yesterday we used the multiplication rule and the power of a power rule. So today it's usually referred to as the quotient rule, but sometimes it's called the division rule as well. So notes around 1 of 2. So if I have x to the 8th over x squared, I apologize about the mouse. X to the 8th is just x times x times x times x times x, right? 8 of them. And x squared is x times x. Now what I can do with this quotient rule is I can cancel, right? 2x's on the top, 2x's on the bottom. So I get x to the 6th. And coincidentally, 8 minus 2 is 6. So I'm basically just subtracting the exponents because here we're canceling these sets of x's. So now what if the bottom is bigger than the top? So if I have x to the 3rd, which is x times x times x, over x to the 5th, right, which is the 5x's on the bottom, we can cancel out 3 sets, and I'm left with x squared on the bottom, but I got to put something on top here, so whatever we put a 1. Okay, so we have our division rule of a to the x divided by a to the y is a to the x minus y. All right, so you want to subtract your exponents. But you want to make sure that you put it in the right spot. Right, a little star there. You want to make sure that if the bottom is bigger, right, you leave it in the bottom. If the top is bigger, you leave it on top. So you got to make sure it goes in the right spot. Or correct spot. Okay, and if we had x to the negative 3 over x to the 2nd, we're going to do this later. All right, we're going to look at negative exponents later. Okay, yep, again, 5 minus 3 is 2, but 2 is on the bottom. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 is on top. And remember that x over 6 is the same as x to the 6th over 1. All right, here comes your practice, round 1 of 2. So we have x to the 6th over x to the 3rd equals whatever you think. X to the 5th over 12 equals, you simplify that, 3 to the 5th over 3 to the 9th, simplify that, 4 to the 8th over 4 to the 3rd, y to the 17th, right? And just so you know, you don't have to do it out like I did in the notes. You can just actually do the subtraction, which I'm going to mention that here in a minute. Because b to the 900 over b to the 150, I don't think you want to write a 900 b's. I don't expect you to write 900 b's. So just that, make that note that you don't have to do it all out. You can get past this. Right, p to the 5 over p squared, right? You don't have to write out the whole thing. Okay, here comes notes round 2. What if we had multiple letters or a letter and a number? All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to have x's with x's and y's with y's. So x to the 5th times x to the 3rd over x to the 11 and y. 11 minus 5 is 6. And remember, that's really y to the 1st. So 3 minus 1 is y squared. I'll fix that in a minute. There we go. Y squared. Okay, so 3 minus 1 is 2. And 11 minus 5 is 6. Remember, that 6 goes on the bottom now. So what if we had 2 to the 5th over 2 to the 3rd, and then x to the 5th and x to the 14th. Okay, so 2 to the 5th over 2 to the 3rd. 5 minus 3 is 2 on top, right? 5 is bigger. And then 14 minus 5 is x to the 9th on bottom, again, because that 14 is bigger. Okay, so x's with x's, right? Y's with y's, and in the bottom case, 2's with 2's, x's with x's. And here comes your practice round 2. So you have x to the 3rd, y to the 5th, over x to the 10th, y. Then that's really y to the 1st. Okay, 2 to the 10, x to the 10 over 2 to the 4, x to the 30. Y to the 100th, z to the 100 to the 19, and then y to the 250 over z to the 13. And then 2 to the 5th, x to the 5th, y to the 5th over 2x, y. Right, and that is it for today.